The opinions made in this video do not necessarily coincide with that of Imaginary Goddess, or anyone else for that matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
As this has been Wheeler the Mercenary King, bringing you another State of Play. I've got my usual three things here today. I'm going to talk about some cards, then I'm going to do a deck check, profile, deck upgrade, whatever you'd like. Then I'm going to do another couple things from Japan or in the future, or terrible, grim future. So, here's what we got. I'm going to talk about the unlockers today. Some of them are pretty good, some of them aren't good at all, and what you can do with them. At the top row, we have Miss Rain Bernardo. He is, when this unit is placed from the rearguard circle, if you have a gold paladin Vanguard, choose a lock card and unlock it. He's an AK who does this. You've got Ezel, you've got Monarch. He can be ignored. Then we got Sanctuary of Light, Brightness Dragon. He's actually one of the best cards in Royal Paladins right now because of all the power he gives to his rearguards. In a deck that should already be pulling out a lot of rear guards and different abilities. He replaces Soul Saver, already mentioned him in my Planetol deck. Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2, choose 3 Royal Paladin rear guards, give him plus 5k until end of turn. This ability cannot be used again. And then, of course, Counterblast 1, unlock it. Good card. He can be an ace in his own deck, maybe even with the Break Ride. Like use Jewel Knights early on to get a bunch of field, then play him. Because I think most of them don't require a Jewel Knight Vanguard, but rather 4 or more Jewel Knights. At least the power attackers do. This one, Justitia, Soul Blast 6. Choose up to 3 of your Genesis rear guards, and those units get plus 5k until end of turn. This ability cannot be used again. Counterblast 1, unlock a card. She's good. Not as good as a couple of others. That could be the Soul Charge 6 is nothing. I mean, Soul Blast 6 is nothing to Genesis, so hey, not a problem. I play her in a Counterblast heavy deck with the rear guards are Counterblast heavy, excuse me, and then maybe with a Himiko Break Ride for just that extra power. Plus 5k. That's a Platina plus the Break Ride itself. Now from the bottom row, I have Seal Dragon Georgette. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5k for every opponent's grade 2 or less rear guard. I'm sorry, grade 2, not grade 2 or less rear guard until end of battle. The number of grade 2 rear guards your opponent has is 2 or more. This unit gets plus 1 crit until end of battle. Counterblast 1, choose a lock card, unlock it. This guy's good because he gets power over the rear guards. Combo him up with the Break Ride coming out in Fighter's Collection, and then you have a pretty terrifying dealio because they search the top 4 for up to I don't know how many. I don't remember. I'll be covering that in a later episode anyway. But they summon out the grade 2s. This guy's already getting plus 10k. All of a sudden, this guy's getting another 10k and a crit, plus whatever boosters you're giving him, which are just fantastic. Metamorphox. He is the reason why Hyaki Vogue is good. Hyaki Vogue is always good, of course, even without him, but he really brings out that special something in a deck, much like spices in a meal. Play 4 of him in a Hyaki Vogue deck. If you fear Link Joker, play 1 or 2. But since you're not really going to be fighting a lot with Link Joker, and Murakumo has other things they can put in there, then you can probably exchange him out for something. Finally, we have Gravity Bolt Dragon. One of the weird things about Narukami is that they sometimes have things that kill all the grade 3s. Use grade 3s for various different things, retiring. Not to the extent that Goku ever got popularity with Rumble Gun. Also, there's another promo that if it hits and it's limit break, kill all the grade 3s they have in the front row. Rear guards, obviously. So, but this one gets Counterblast 1 when this unit drive check reveals a grade 3 Narukami. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it, and this unit gets plus 5k. It's good in the sense that it gives it turns grade 3s into straight up triggers, not just something that does things. Counterblast 1, unlock it. Choose a unit, lock card, and unlock it. Staple for these guys, Lord. If you made a Rumblegun Dragon, I bet this could work well. Rumblegun Dragon deck, which I did until I made Gungaree. This card could work well, but maybe it's a bit late for him to really shine compared with some others. Those are the unlockers. They came in set 14. There's 2 different arts for all of them. Avoid the Gold Paladin one. Go for the Royal Genesis if you go that way, and maybe Gravity Bolt. Georgette is fine if you make Seal Dragons, but I wouldn't use them otherwise. Alright, second part of this show is going to be dedicated to sort of how I go about modifying my decks. I'm not really happy with Master of the Fifth Element. What he does is Limit Break 4, if you have 10 or more Dark Irregulars in the Soul, every Dark Irregular gets plus 3k. Counterblast 1, when this unit attacks hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do Soul Charge 3. He's good, but he's not really jiving with me. And I really need things that work together to be happy with a deck. I recalled that I was happy with Death Anchor. And so I'll go towards that throughout this feature. So, let's talk about what our options are for starters. Right now, I'm going with Ammon's Follower, Fate Collector. What other options are there for the Dark Irregulars player? We have Vermilion Gatekeeper, Greedy Hand, Werefuchs Hexa, and Devil in Shadow. The thing about Death Anchor, No Life King Death Anchor, is that you can't use Counterblast in this deck until he uses his ability. And even then, because he requires 5 on flip damage. That works if you have damage on flippers, but you don't have damage on flippers, which is frustrating. So these two ride out. This is the grade 3 searcher. This is Counterblast 1, put into Soul. Search for up to 1 grade 2 or less Dark Irregulars, put it into Soul, shuffle deck. So in other words, he's great because he can summon out, let's see here, Dimension Creeper, put into Soul, Soul Blast, Dimension Creeper, plus 2 Soul. That's Counterblast 1 for 3 Soul. Fantastic exchange. But it doesn't work in this deck because of the requirement of no use of Counterblasts. Now we have Vermilion Gatekeeper and Werefuchs Hexa. When this unit boosts a Dark Irregular Vanguard with Limit Break 4, this can go into the Soul and you can draw a card. It's good for generic decks that don't require a lot of Soul, but at the same time you got to make sure that the thing has limit breaks that you're riding to. You might say something about the break ride, but that's not enough. So these two are left. I like Fate Collector because when the number of Dark Irregulars in their Soul and 6 or more, this unit gets, put this unit into the Soul, and at the end of the battle, that this unit boosted a Dark Irregular's Vanguard, draw a card. Or Vermilion Gatekeeper, when this unit is ridden, Soul Charge 1. They both have their strengths. This is more aggressive Soul Charge, this is more aggressive hand size. Both of them works. However, this is not a -1, but it ends the break even that the first ride gives you in exchange for more Soul. And I don't want that. I want to use this guy until I have other cards I can use to boost. So, Fate Collector. This goes a lot faster in my... I know that this may seem like slow, like I'm explaining it, because I am explaining it. But in my head, this goes a lot faster. This goes, okay, no Counterblast, those two out. Do I need more Soul Charge? No, because I got da-da-da. Anyway, let's look at my triggers. This is my Dark Irregulars. This was my Master of the Fifth Element build. What do I want to do for triggers? I want to make it more aggressive because of all the crits. I want to get it so that when I start using Death Anchor, that all of a sudden the unit is scared because they've taken crits beforehand. They're going to take a natural crit. They have to Probe Shield every turn. So I'm going to go 8 crit. Removing Ammon's Follower, Psychic Waitress. That demonic ass, but the crits are more important here. So I'm using 2 Cruel Hands, just because that's what I happen to see first. These girls go back into the deck. Never to be played again. No. Keeping the 4 Hysteric Shirleys. She is Soul Charge from field, put in Soul Charge 1. That's a Soul Charge 2 for a -1. If you use her, get her like as a draw trigger, it's fantastic because it sort of mitigates that. But at the same time, you gotta be careful with all Dark Irregulars deck. They don't really have card advantage, and you have to be careful. Dark Knight of Nightmareland into Soul plus 3K. I don't use him as very often unless I need just that one Soul, because the 3K doesn't go as far in this. It does go far in this deck if you get the right field going, but not necessarily all the time. Those are my triggers. 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. This is the Hute heal. I'm using this one. Ammon's Follower Fate Collector as the starter. Now let's talk about the grade ones. Let's see here. Okay, so one of the benefits of Dark Regulars is that there's a lot of grade ones for you to have. There's things that Soul Charge, things that retire. I mean, this is a Counterblast 2, grade 1, kill something. It's Blaster Blade, except grade 1. It's nice. Actually, no, it's better, considering that there were no other Blaster Blades. Dimension Creeper is a good card when it's in the Soul Blast, Soul Charge 2. I'm not sure about him. He's one of the ones I'm sort of curious about, because even though he's got a good deck, the deck does have natural Soul Charge in the Vanguard circle, so I don't need too much, I just need enough. So let's talk about what my grade 1 option. She's just right out because she uses Counterblasts. This card I'm keeping in Alluring Succubus. She is, when she's put on the Vanguard or Rearguard, Soul Charge 1. I do need a little Soul Charge. That's all that's all I can say about it. Let's see here. Same ability as this card, Flirtatious Succubus, of which I'm going to add 1 to my deck. She used to be like a $10, $15 card. Now she's gone down a bit thanks to, what's her name? Grade 2 by the name of Hell's Draw, which is Ammon's Follower, Ammon in the Vanguard circle, Soul Charge 2. I'm gonna put 1 of her in just for tech. Also because the grade 2s of this deck are completely different from my Masters of the 5th Element. Alright, so let's see here. I've got some Soul Charge, I got my Perfect Shields. Now I need Power, because what this deck does have a weakness to is Rearguard columns. I don't need, let's see here. Good cards for this one is Poet of Darkness Ammon. When you have 6 or more Dark Irregulars in the Soul, this unit gets plus 3k, so it's a 9k. Demon Bike of the Witching Hour, Prisoner Beast, Demon Child, and Courting Succubus, and lastly, one decadent. I'm going to actually add that 4. During the Thruster. To me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. I don't need on-hit Soul Charge. When this unit boosts Dark Irregulars and hits a Vanguard, Soul Charge 1, don't need that due to the fact that there's a whole bunch of natural Soul Charge already. Devil Child is a 10k booster when there is, 6 or more. So that's a potential for the Vanguard booster. Prisoner Beast is just an AK. I don't want him there because there's so many things that I can do with that have abilities. Demon Bike of the Witching Hour, I need to run 4 to be good, and he's better in Dark Lord of the Abyss, Ammon, and a few other cards because you can force him in there for a nice booster. Besides that, he can be worked with Demon Devil Child. So, leaves us with 3. Poet of Darkness Ammon, During the Thruster, and Devil Child. He's a Devil Child! So what I'm going to do for first off is bring this up to 4. Even though I do need power, this will make sure I hit 18k a lot more often than you might think. Especially with, what's her name? What is his name? The Grade 2 Ammon, which I will be running, as well as a few other cards. here's the thing. What soul charges in this deck so far is Hysteric Shirley, Fate Collector, this woman, Decadent Succubus, the Break Ride, which is soul charge 1 on attack, which doesn't jive well with Dorian the Thruster, and Death Anchor, who soul charges, when does he soul charge? That's Ammon. Beginning of the main phase. And then when this unit attacks. So I've got two choices with it when it comes down to this. First off, I'm going to replace Bloody Calf with 2 Devil Childs, because that provides a lot of pressure that the Vanguard has. Like, this thing, I want it to get to the point where all they can do is Perfect Shield, okay? Eventually in Fire's Collection there'll be a card I'm going to consider that is a glory for Dark Irregulars. And that'll be really interesting when that comes out. I'm going to be doing Fire's Collection stuff a bit closer to it after set 15. I'll be taking like 3-4 cards from that each time. Right now I'm just focusing on a bit of Legion and things going up to set 15. Bermuda. Okay, so we got these. These are fine. This is fine. Now we've got 3 slots. For those, I'm actually going to choose... what am I going to choose? 9K. Alright, let's see here. We got distracted. The thing flipped over, and so we lost a bit of control. There we go. So, here's what my grade 1s look like. We'll just go from there. 2 Devil Chab. 4 Alluring Succubus for the extra soul charge. 3 Dorines. 4 Perfect Shields. Doreen works with Death Anchor pretty well. Guaranteed 9K. Sort of Waste Not, Want Not. I could run the Ammons, but I don't get the soul charge early enough to really make a change. Anyway, so moving on to the next bit. The grade 2s. This is where there'll be the most radical change, because Death Anchor isn't Limit Break, Death Anchor doesn't use Counterblasts, and Decadent Succubus I don't like. Siegfried I like. So here's what we're doing. I already know what I'm going to be doing for the ratios. There isn't really a lot I can choose here. But, you know, I'll talk about them anyway. So we got Siegfried. He is the 10K attacker. I like him because he is the 10K attacker. Then we have Demon of Aspiration Ammon. He's good with Dorian the Thruster, in the sense that 20K as well as 18K, which lets you hit cross rides. You do need to hit cross rides nowadays. Decadent Succubus promo, place Vanguard, Rearguard, Soul Charge 1. And then finally we have Dark Soul Conductor. I remember back in the day, I one time fought Jake Wells to a near draw, to a victory rather, with Big League Bear, which is the Pale Moon version of it. It was beautiful, beautiful fight. Big League Bear is always the avatar, now and forever. He is, when this unit is put the drop zone from the Guardian Circle, you may Soul Charge 2. I'm going to use a Tech of him, 1 or 2, just in case I need that extra Soul Charge, and it helps in the sense that I'm blocking an attack. Damage is a difficult thing in this deck because Death Anchor requires essentially Ultimate Break to work uncounterblasted. So sometimes you need just an emergency injection, and this is what this guy will be. So, just so you know, the other choices that exist are Saraquiel, but it's a Brutal Jack clone for Dark Irregulars, but Soul Blast 3 to lose Restraint. And on the Vanguard Circle, it's a 16K attacker when boosted, at least. So 23. And that's just not needed in a Dark Irregulars deck, which is all about the Soul Charge, baby. For Hades' Carriage of Witching Hour. The Witching Hour series is it gets plus 2K for every other Witching Hour in the Soul. That's of the same grade. I don't like it in this card deck because there's no guarantee that you'll get them in there. And if you get them all in there, there's 4 of them in there, and you only get 1 attacker, which will be 14K. Sure, that hits 23K with a 9K booster, but it's not really worth all the rigmarole. Seegers, extra Seeger, 12K attacker for Ammon. Beast in hand. When this unit is placed Vanguard or Rearguard, he's a self-damager. He wouldn't be bad in this deck. But at the same time, I don't really want to do it like that. Because while it may work for... Actually, no, there's no reason it should work. Never mind. Sorry, changing my mind. Free Traveler, Counterblast right out. But it's basically Counterblast 1, Vanguard or Rearguard. Search up for 1 grade 2 or less Dark Irregulars, put into the Soul Shuffle deck. It's good. Reggie decks actually will really benefit from cards like this because he puts in Demon Bike of the Witching Hour, he puts in Hades Carriage of the Witching Hour for great benefit. Blue Dust, one of the oldest Dark Irregulars card. When this unit attack hits, Soul Charge 1. Cyber Beast, this is a card that could make Master of the Fifth Element deck great. I just never really brought his full effervescence out. He is, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have 4 or other Dark Irregular Rearguards, draw a card. Card advantage in Dark Irregulars is a low thing, and maybe in Fifth Element decks it works. I guess you push it with the Ammon booster. With this guy, all of a sudden he's hitting 22k with 4 other Rearguards. That's a free draw. Ammon, Soul Charge 2. And then finally, Flirtatious Succubus. When another Dark Irregular is placed on the Rearguard, Soul Charge 1. That's great for an early turn with Doreen the Thruster, but it's not really what I'm getting at here because of the natural Soul Charge of the Break Ride and Death Anchor. I want to curtail it a bit. Maybe I need to add a little bit more Soul Charge to this deck. That's only what we can do through testing, okay? There's Flirtatious, getting rid of Decadent. Yeah, because I can. I'm going to choose these last 2 for Dark Soul Conductor. As I said, this is attack emergency Soul Charge, so I can get to 8, so I can start critting. Plus 10k critting for 23k by itself. With the Doreen, it could hit 32, Devil Child 33. In an era of cross rides, those numbers are elegant. Put these 2 here. Now, here's what else we have. We have Were-Leopard Soldat and Psychoglaive. Psychoglaive, when there's 6 or more in Soul Charge 1, this unit gets plus 5k for Counterblast. Not good because, again, Death Anchor can't use Soul Blasts. Finally, we have Soldat. I already mentioned him, Soldat. He is Limit Break 4 plus 3k. Simple. I'm going to replace him with the Ammon, which does it except for Soul Charge 6. Death Anchor is not a limit break, as I said before. He is technically an ultimate break. Death Anchor is one of the few promo cards that actually made it to the show. Tetsu played him while he was pretending to be Joker X or whatever during the 2nd season. As those people who, if you lost, even one of your teammates lost against him, you were out of the tournament. Which is just horrifying, honestly. Take these 2 here, these 2 here. Now we've got to replace these. I'm going to replace them with Seegers. I've already got 1 Seeger, so I'm going to check the numbers on this. I might have too many. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Which is an excellent opportunity for another tech. What would be good here? Okay, 1 Cyber Beast. Why not? Shits and grins. Actually, this is horrible design. I'm going to put in another Dark Soul Conductor. Sorry, guy. Why? More emergency Soul Charge. Again, I mean emergency. Like, you can use them early game to protect yourself, to, like, attack, destroy some 7k, 10k attackers, which is good, but, just a moment. But you gotta be careful. Okay, so, oh wait, this is 12. Alright then, that's fine. So we've got 4 Werewolf Seegers, 10k, guarantees at 18k with Doreen the Thruster, which is nice for cross rides. Once you get to Death Anchor, you're guaranteed 19k columns, plus whatever triggers you get. Again, good against cross rights. 11k Ammon. When you have 6 or more during your turn, Dark Regulars and Soul, plus 3k, so he's 11k attacker. That's 18k column. That's 20k column. That's good. Those numbers. If you ever meet a poor bastard playing a 10k Vanguard. Decadent Succubus, a little bit more soul charge. And then Dark Soul Conductor, emergency soul charge. Basically, play him early, intercept with him. Fantastic. Dimension Creeper, I'm still regretting a bit. But then again, I can't think of anything better to replace him with. And I think I might have too much soul charge. Alright, now for the important bit, the grade 3s. The Death Anchor Dantarion build is fantastic. Why? Because Death Anchor adds 5 cards to the soul. Let's see what other options we have right here. We have Demon Chariot of the Witching Hour, same thing as Hades or Demon Bike. Werebear Soldat, he is a limit break beater, as well as a 12k attacker on the rear guard. Demon Eater, this is actually a really good card. It's Mega Blast. When this unit attack hits anything, Mega Blast. Retire all the opponent's rear guards. Soul 8 was good was hard back in the day, but for now, it's like, eh. And you can really put this in just to fuck with some heads. This might be a tech that you should certainly consider, as well as with not in a Seal Vampire deck anymore, because nobody really runs triggers on their rear guards anymore, except for the witches. Oh my, that would be something interesting. Seal Vampire in a witch deck. Yeah, my original deck actually was some Death Anchors, Demon Eaters, and some Seal Vampires. Death Anchor, wow, no life king. Such life, no life, such death. What we have here is the number of rear guards in your soul is 8 or more. This gets a guaranteed plus 1k. That's great. You know, suddenly it turns from 10k to 11k. That's defensive, I guess. I don't know. It's 8 soul charge, I guess. Back in the day, I don't really think they got the costs down. And they still don't. And they're trying to figure that out. At the beginning of your main phase, soul charge 1. Because this main phase, Doreen goes off. I don't think there is a grade 2 version of Doreen. If there is, I'd like to know it. This unit gets plus 2k. So when you're at 8, this becomes a 13k attacker. That's great. Choose 5 face-up Dark Irregulars from the damage zone, put them into your soul. When this unit attacks, pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 10k plus 1 crit until end of turn. And at the beginning of the end phase of the turn, put the 5 cards from the top of the deck into the damage zone. So, just so you know, that's 10 cards from the deck. And more. And the benefit is that he will gain power based on it. Because even if you don't get to soul charge at all, once you do this ability, you will be at 8. All of a sudden, so he's 23k crit 2 by himself. With Devil Child, he is a 33k crit 2. Them's perfect shield in numbers, and with the rise of Quintet Walls, that means that he's harder to guard. I'm going to put in 1 Ammon. I've already decided what I'm going to do with my grade 3s, because that's the focal point of the deck. I've already decided 1 Ammon, because I do need to quit the soul charging late in the game, and all I have to do is lock a card, and he'll turn into ungodly numbers, and get a natural quit. Be very, very quiet. Until end of turn. Can't be used multiple times, that's okay. It's OP. So I'm going to put these here, and I'm going to get started. I'm actually going to only use 3 Death Anchors, because of his, even though he's the ace of the deck, both of them jive better with Dantarion than they do with non-break rides. The break ride for Dark Irregulars is actually one of the better ones, as it really does, like Mega Colonies, it really does work with the clan itself. When a Dark Irregulars rides this unit, you may choose the Vanguard until it gets plus 10k, generic. Here's where it really shines. Choose up to 3 of your dark irregular rear guards, and until end of turn, these things get, when this unit gets plus 1k for everything in the soul. Not during main phase, whenever there's something in the soul. In other words, he gives plus 6k to those guys by himself. Let's say he's at 8. All of a sudden he's going to plus 14k to Werewolf Seeger. 24k. There's Doreen the Thruster behind him, who got the same ability. She's at, and let's say you played one of her as well to fill out your field. Suddenly, that's 7 soul charge, plus 7k, 13k to Doreen the Thruster. So she's 19 by herself, boosting a Seeger who is 14, 15? Yeah, with her it's 15. Sorry, I need to calculate that again. So, 15 cards in soul by the time the rear guards attack. So 25 Seeger. During the Thruster took 2, so she's at 12 already, plus another 15, so that's 27. So that's 41? I want to say that's 41. Wait. No, that's 51. That is 51k column. Plus all the crits you're getting, because crits all day. Okay, I'd like to see somebody survive from that. With the early crit advantage, with a few other things, that should really help any Dark Irregulars player, keep the pressure up before the hand runs out. What are the weaknesses of this deck? Hand, hand, hand. Straight up. The weaknesses of every Dark Irregulars deck is hand. You might say that, oh, but every deck has that problem. No. The problem is, this deck, no Dark Irregulars deck really has a way of generating hand advantage. Even Steel Vampire, which you might think takes away a lot of hand advantage from your opponent, they still can ride the break ride on top of the end of turn when the ability stops working. And then they break ride again, which means you have to guard more. Sure, this wasn't a problem back before break rides, but it just doesn't work like it should. There's also the fact that you will probably deck out if you're not careful. That's why I have an Ammon. So that the soul charging can stop at a certain point. Sure, that takes away a bit of the 18k capabilities of the deck with Doreen the Thruster, but at that point in time, it shouldn't matter. If you're that low on field, they shouldn't really have the hand to guard this guy. Lock 1, it gets plus 1k, and the crit if you have 6 or more soul. Sorry, it gets plus 1k for every card in soul. So in other words, let's say it's at 8. You do your soul charging well. You've used the ability twice. It's plus 10k to soul, so that's 18k. Ride him, 19k. Lock 1. Actually, lock 1 to the side because you have Devil Child. This gets 29k. Devil Child, 39k to Vanguard. Crit 2. Good. If you want to do more Ammons, you can replace this one because it's not the SP. Where's my SP? Where's my SP? Oh, there it is. SP. You can replace one of these with an Ammon too. I want to see how this goes for now. Even if you ride him, it's not the end of the world because he still gets a free crit when at limit break. And by the way, you will be at ultimate break, so he doesn't lose his ability even if you lose ultimate break and heal out of it. It's fantastic. Alright then, I'm going to go to the last section of this particular episode. I really hope that this was able to enlighten people over, what options you have, what you need to consider when building a deck. This is a bit of an awkward... This isn't awkward, I'm not going to say this, but it is certainly a bit of an advanced player's deck. Because you do have to manage the soul, you do have to manage the deck, you have to manage so many things, as well as the rate of soul charge. And you better hope that this guy doesn't get soul charged and you have to, stop using his ability. That'd be terrible. I really hope to see more Dark Irregulars decks in the future. Try this out. I used to have it, it was fun, and I'm bringing it back. And I'm hoping the Break Ride gives it that je ne sais quoi that really great decks need. Emergency soul charge, power. soul charge, power, benefit from soul charging, protection. Just doing a little brief thing in case, too long didn't read. 8 crit, 4 draw. Ammon Follower for the hand. It's one of the few cards that that is a break even, considering your hand size. And in a deck like this, once you're at 6, which will probably be around turn 4, provided you've gotten 1 or 2 soul charges off, it's just gravy, and you can replace it with Double Chop. Alright then. Third section. By the way, if you guys have any questions, I'm be glad to go over how more tricks and techniques to build a deck. This was sort of like a teach by example deal. Any questions you ask on the YouTube channel, I will endeavor to answer if I can. I didn't notice any when I got here and started filming this, so if I have missed anything and you guys did ask a question, hey, it's okay. I'll answer it the next time. All right? Okay, now we're going into what's coming up in the future. We got Legion coming up. I believe in December is set 16, though that isn't confirmed at all. I do know Fighters Collection is before the Worlds Tournament. I believe I'll be going to Atlanta because everyone else is. I might just make it up to Chicago anyway, just to see what it's like, as well as get some promos. Mega Colony. Alright then. Here's the 3 I've chosen: Great Nature, Pale Moon, and Murakumo. They're all 3 different cards that really do perform the ideal for their own clan. Let's start with Legion. Legion is its own deck. You can break ride it once, when you have the Unlimiters. But really, when you combine it with these fellows, it's really, you have to figure out how you value time. If you're a late game player like I am, Legion may not be the thing you idealize the most. But if you're an early game player or a very aggressive player, this might be better for you. I'm not going to judge whether they're good or bad. They are cards that are pretty ideal to their clans. We've got Great Nature. The grade 2, oh, by the way, in case you don't know, what Legion is if your opponent has a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, only once this unit, as in not like once per game, once per this unit, you may return 4 cards. By the way, return 4 triggers. Guard early. It really does benefit from it. So because they go back into the deck, and all of a sudden you've got more triggers in your deck. Oh! From your drop zone to your deck, search your deck for the specified card, and perform Legion. This will turn into a 20k. So in other words, you add 9k to this. The ones that search out grade 3s are 21k attackers. It's fantastic. This guy's ability. Counterblast 1. During your end phase, when this unit was put into the drop zone from the rearguard circle, if your Vanguard is in Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your units in the Vanguard circle, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as that unit, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle deck. This is great because you can recycle him with Legion. Let's say that you need a little bit of card advantage, you want to thin your deck out a bit of these guys, you can Legion again, guaranteed. Wait. Nope. I tell a lie. Drop zone from rearguard circle, Legion, Counterblast 1. Oh yeah, search for this guy. Okay, search for this guy. Less grade 3s in the deck, the better. Excuse me. I'm tired. Alright, this guy's ability, Magic Scientist Tester Fox. The Legion I mentioned earlier with this guy, during your end phase, when one of your rearguards is put into the drop zone, this unit is in Legion. Choose a card from your damage zone, turn it face up. Then this makes it free, by the way. Then, if this unit is putting a card into the drop zone, a unit with the same name, this guy. As a unit with your Vanguard circle, this guy. Draw a card, choose up to 2 cards from your drop zone, and put them into the bottom of the deck in any order. More triggers, more card advantage. Comboing up with him, that's 2 cards to hand. One of them is a 5k, sure, or a grade 3. but the other one is just a free card. Let's say you have a Perk Shield in hand, really need that grade 3. Search out him with his ability. Let's say you just need 5k more, search out him. Let's see, what sort of deck would you build around this? I'd build Great Cat, along with Compass Lion, and a couple of on-hit advantages that really sort of make it pop. This guy also has, this guy has an ability I forgot to mention. When this unit attacks a Vanguard from the Vanguard circle, choose one of your rear guards, give it plus 4k. If you do, at the end of turn, retire that unit. So in other words, he is sort of like a self-contained ecosystem with his own cards. So in other words, you give power to this, it dies, you draw 2 cards, and take 2 triggers, it's always triggers, put it back into the deck from the drop zone. And you just keep cycling it. Weaknesses of the deck. Even though it has all those abilities, and it does allow you a bit more card advantage than, say, Bison, it's not as good, I don't think, except for the power it gives to the Vanguard, which is not something that is lacking in Great Nature. He doesn't excel. In my mind. You know, it is a Great Nature Legion. That's it. Sorry. Alright, now this one I'm excited for, and I'll probably build my Pale Moon around. We've got, by the way, the names of these were Illusion Scientist, Researcher Fox, Magic Scientist, Tester Fox. Then we have Barking Sky Tiger for Pale Moon. When your other unit is placed in the rear guard circle from your soul, if your Vanguard is in Legion, this unit gets plus 3k until end of turn. This is Cracking Beast Tamer. There's a lot of Beast Tamers out there, and they're starting to get more support, more love, which is just beautiful. Beast Tamers are some of the most are some of the better and underrepresented cards in Vanguard for Pale Moon, as they provide the power necessary for a lot of things. Legion again, except with Barking Sky Tiger. Counterblast 2, when this unit performs Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do Soul Charge 2, choose 3 cards from your soul and call them to separate rearguard circles. When this unit is placed on Vanguard from, when your unit is placed on rearguard from soul, this unit gets plus 3k until end of turn. So in other words, she gets plus 9 to herself. She's hitting 29k, plus a couple of other things I'm sure that really boost her up. One of the things about Legion is that it allows for more powerful combos because you require -1 from your deck and strong ability, mostly, from your deck. And onto the Vanguard circle, all it does is add power, not abilities. So in other words, the reason why this card can get plus 3k for everything that comes out of the soul when this unit is in Legion is because one of them's already in Legion, and you might only have one on the field when this pops up. However, if he's in the soul, he can get plus 3k. Remember, this is a plus 3 to your field. It's beautiful. It is one of the few cards I would consider break riding. Miracle Pop Ava's ability is that when this unit attacks, break ride, when this unit attacks, choose 2 cards, put them into the soul, choose 2 cards, take him out. In other words, you can give another plus, say, to your rearguard version of this. I'm really looking forward to the support they give in the sets to Pale Moon. It's my thought that you'll probably see something set 13. Set 18. If not, we'll certainly see it for the finale, which should be set 20, I want to say. Set 19, set 20. They're going really fast in the anime plot-wise, and I'm not sure what they're doing with it. So, you know, I don't know how I feel about it. So, deck around this card. Beast Tamers, maybe Break Ride if that's your fancy. Certainly choose a lot of power cards. Less cards that do some crazy stuff. One of the great tragedies of the Vanguard strategy is that Pale Moon isn't as cunning as it once was. It's very brutal, don't get me wrong. Even playing Lucia reverse, even compared to her non-reverse form, is still a brutal card, even into the Legion era, because of the +1 from the soul for a 17k column if it's a 12k attacker, excuse me. But at the same time, it's at the cost of, like, a Nightmare Doll Alice, or Demon Eater, a lot of on-hit things from your boosters. like a Midnight Bunny. Purple Trapezis was great, but it's just not the same. Not as, back in the old days. As crazy as that sounds, I'm a bit of a guy who yearns for the old days when a Pale Moon player, you couldn't let him hit once because all of a sudden some shenanigans will happen and you won't have the guard for it. I will be playing this though because I do like it. I do like the Beast Tamers. Fantastic art. Feel free to look it up yourself on the Cardfight wiki. Lastly, what we have is the Murakumo cards. The Grade 2 is a demon wheel thing from set 9 clone for Grade 2s. It's Illusion Change, Stealth Rogue, Kuzu Noa, Counterblast. Oh, Soul Blast one. That's actually a lot better because Murakumo doesn't use Soul for anything. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if your Vanguard is in Legion, you may pay the cost. Soul Blast one. If you do, choose one of your rearguards not named this. Illusion Change, Stealth Rogue, Konoha, Kuzunoha. Search your deck for up to one card with the same name as that unit. So in other words, choose a Grade 1, whatever you need, and sort of start getting the pluses, brief pluses. Shuffle your deck, and at the end of turn, put that card summon on the bottom of the deck. One of the things that people don't realize about Murakumo is that there is a lot of deck thinning, but it's temporary, and you got to be careful on how you do it. You could thin the deck of an immense amount of cards, and then you have to search for something else out and you shuffle it. And it's like, ooh. Murakumo does have problems with card advantage, but at the same time, it does overcome it with having good field advantage, even if it's temporary. Really, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to set up a field, set up the costs, and then sort of conserve your hand while trying to keep your field filled with the least amount of cost to you, with the Kage no Bushin, or whatever it's called. Its Legion is Omoyoji Stealth Rogue Seimei. Seimei? Of course, it has the usual Legion 20k. This unit's ability, Counterblast 1, so cheap. If this unit is in Legion, choose one of the units in your Vanguard circle. Search your deck for up to 2 cards of the same name. Call them a separate rearguard circle. Shuffle your deck. End of turn. Put the units called by this effect bottom of the deck of any order. And then, of course, if you have a rearguard with the same name as the unit as your Vanguard circle, this gets plus 3k. So let's talk about combos. You can choose. It's in Legion. Let's assume it's in Legion. One of the benefits of Murakumo is that there isn't a lot of heavy counterblasts. Hayaki Vogue has 2 counterblasts. I think that's the most expensive, next to Kurama Lord, which is a Mega Blast of all things, which of course is the most expensive ability in all of Vanguard. But at the same time, yeah, that's right, it is the most expensive ability in Vanguard. People should be eased up on Brunhilde. Ha! Ha ha! Anyway, so here's what you do. Let's say that you have one Grade 1 in your hand, and it's that 1 AK booster. So you summon him out. Legion, perform his ability, summon 2 more of her. AK, 17k columns. End of turn, they go back. You can do it again as many times as possible because you will not be damage checking them because they're on the bottom of the deck. So you do it as many times as you have soul for, which is once. Maybe 1.5. And in that case, you just summon him out, so you can guarantee yourself 5k shields and 3ks. I think, let's see, rearguards. I go power rearguards, maybe a couple million rats, maybe a couple. Certainly that one Deathly Dagger should be a staple in all Murakumo decks now because she gives plus 3k to the unit she boosts that has the same name as something else on it. So in other words, she becomes 18k, he becomes 19k. 20k attackers. Fantastic. The real benefit to having 20k columns nowadays is to kill rearguards because nobody wants to spend 15k for one card because it's a -3 to replace it. Excuse me, it's a -2 to block, and then if you attack again, you can't pay another 2 with same column, of course. Can't pay another 2. It's a -3 to replace it next turn. So in other words, you just let it die, or if it's really important. But I don't know how I feel about a deck that's that the grade 2s are super important. Most of them are on ride. I'm sorry, on call or attackers. In which case you should have replacements for it. Alright then, these are the legions that were coming out. These are not actually the main deck ones. These are promos that were produced recently for their summer dealies. And I'll be going through them. Next week, I'm going to focus on Bermuda, the promos, and a few other things from the set release that's happening Friday, tomorrow, as well as I'm going to do another deck change. It's not going to be as extensive as my Dark Irregulars deck. It's just my Bermuda deck going from a sort of, not a mess, it is an elegant mess, from something that has a very strange sort of skillful jive to it. That's part of the reason why I wanted to record that video, was to get a record of what's in it, in case I forget. But also to sort of see what I can do when I combo up old stuff and new stuff. Lena is still... It's a free return everything to hand in a deck that should benefit from that immensely. I don't like duos. I'm sure Vu, Mentor, and a few other... I'm sorry, Ash. I've forgotten what his nickname is. That's okay. We'll be doing some deck profiles for you from the Bermuda sets. I think they're going to be... I think Ash is doing great, and I think Makuto, that's what his name, will be doing Pacifica. But I'm not going to say that for sure. With this, remember, you can always ask me questions, and I'll answer them. If I get enough questions, I'll dedicate a section to answering questions. Look forward, after the Bermuda, there's going to be some weeks, and then the set 15, where I'll do a Mega Colony special. Look forward to it. You'll need it in your lives, like the light of salvation. And that's all. Look forward to our videos. Look forward to State of Play. Have a great day.